As we get ready to bring in the new year, it's time to pour one out for all the cars, trucks, SUVs, sports cars that were discontinued in the great year of 2024. I have very little personal ties for most of these vehicles, so it doesn't affect me really. And make sure to stay to the end because you're not going to want to miss the last vehicle that we will lament over. Repose of the soul, I guess you could say, of the last car. All right, so let's get into it. Guys, if you're excited for today's video, smash the like button. Also, I will be having a follow-up to this. Instead of discontinued vehicles, we'll talk about everything new coming in 2025, new models, redesigns, all that good stuff. I might do a live stream over it. It just depends. It's going to be a long video, so doing a live stream would just make it very, very easy. All right, let's start with Audi's A5, the coupe and the convertible Gonzo in 2024. Now, watch my review of this vehicle. I loved it. If you missed my top vehicles of 2024 that I reviewed, I mentioned this vehicle, fantastic, but it was most memorable because I got my daughter car sick in it for driving too aggressively. Yes, she threw up in an S5 Sportback. It was a great car though, and it's really easy to drive it fast. So rest in peace, A5 coupe and convertible. And yeah, we never got the A5 Avant. I did see an RS6 Avant this week while I was driving around on my Grom, so that's always fun. Moving on. This one hurts. This is the Volvo S60. I've reviewed this vehicle on my channel at least once. Why does this hurt? Well, this is the only Volvo that was made in the South Carolina plant, and it was Volvo's only, I guess, is their entry-level sedan, luxury sedan. There's not a lot of entry-level luxury sedans. I feel like they're getting killed off. But this also offered the incredible T8. That's what they used to call it. I don't know what they call it anymore. It's just called the Recharge, 455 horsepower plug-in hybrid. For the last model year or two, it got the bigger battery, the more potent rear motor for the plug-in hybrid S60. That's going to be an excellent car to find on the used market, in my opinion. It is a sleeper, like most Volvos that have that plug-in hybrid powertrain, or even their electrified Volvos are fully electric, like the XC40 Recharge. It's a sleeper that's packing 400 horsepower. So this one stung for me a little bit more so than the rest on this. What are they doing instead of the S60? I think that's where they're going to make some Polestar vehicles and possibly the XC90 down there in South Carolina. But yeah, they're no S60s. Chevy Malibu. This thing's been risen from the dead. If you see, it lasted from 64 to 83, and then they brought it back in 97. Now they're killing it off again. I mean, it was pretty much a rental car. And why are they killing it off again? Well, they need production capacity to produce the new second generation Chevy Bolt, all right, in the Fairfax plant, which I believe is in Kansas. Yes, right here, the Kansas assembly line. Now, will they still keep making it in China and other markets? I have no idea, but we're not going to see it in America possibly ever again. But never say never. It's already been brought back from the dead once. Jaguar is going to be on here a lot. Remember the video I made of, well, their terrible rebrand, the Jellyfish Lady, Jaguar. It's and a lot depending on where you're at in the world. We all say it differently. If you come to America, even on the Jaguar commercials, they say Jaguar, and that's just how it is. People say Mazda here, not Mazda. People say different things in different parts of the world, and Jaguar is what it's called here. Every once in a while, we'll see a commercial with a British accent, and they'll say Jaguar. Let's get back on track. Yeah, rest in peace, last Jaguar sedan, at least until they come out with those crazy, silly, childish EVs. I'm not saying all EVs are childish. I'm just saying who's going to pay $400K or whatever they're going to charge for their monopoly car. All right. Infiniti Q50, the Skyline, rest in peace. This one hurts a little bit. It hurts more so because this vehicle went on so long without it being redesigned over about a decade. It got the twin turbo V6 3-liter, which is a great engine. The 7-speed automatic was quick enough. It's a fun car to drive. It handles well. It's still a very good looking sedan, even though it was hardly ever updated. It's just, they even made a diesel. That's crazy. They put a Mercedes diesel in this for some markets, but yeah, it's going the way of the dodo bird. Now Infiniti wants to replace it with an electric sedan made in the Canton, Mississippi plant. Yeah, who knows if or when they'll ever make that. Infinity might be a part of history, like Jaguar, before an electric QX50 successor comes out. And stay tuned for all the Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi merger talks. It's still developing. They met up today, Monday the 23rd in Japan, and essentially by the end of August 2025, it will be one company, kind of like how Stellantis is one company, but you have many brands under Stellantis. So it's happening, guys. Fisker Ocean. I have never driven one. I don't care to ever drive one. Only lasted a couple years of production. Beautiful SUV. Buggy as hell. Super unreliable. And I feel bad because there is a parent at my kid's school that drives one of these. And I mean, they got sold. They got sold on an expert con man, essentially, Henrik Fisker. It's tough, but these cars are essentially worthless now, and I just feel bad for the people who got sold on the design, got sold on the electric future, and this car is anything but the future. Ford Edge, once an edgy, true crossover, right? Not boxy like the Expeditions of old, or not even boxy like the Escapes used to be, the Escapes. This was a true crossover, and my sister had one. The thing was a piece of junk. I'll just say that. She got rid of it for a Lexus, and she probably never ever going to go back to Ford at this point. So, yeah, rest in peace, Ford Edge. I don't think anyone's going to shed a tear. Maybe there's some ST owners out there with, what was it, the Turbo V6. So maybe some of y'all out there are going to lament. For example, right here, yeah, the Turbo V6. Some of you guys might be sad about that, but we need to keep moving. Jaguar I-Pace, another electric vehicle that was supposed to be the future of the Jaguar brand. Well, they killed this as well as everything other than the F-Pace. So, yep, that one's going to go down as a failure vehicle. The E-Pace as well, their entry-level crossover. Jaguar just, yeah, it's only a matter of time before they're completely gone. They're trying to limp along the nameplate by reinventing the brand as electric. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Maserati Levante. I've never driven one of these. I saw one when I was invited to, well, I see them every day, but I got close and personal with one when I went to Miami about a year ago. The MC20 was there, the new Gran Turismo. I drove the new Gran Turismo while I was over there. Maserati's a brand that I don't know if it's going to have much longevity to it as well. On the Levante, and you would think, in a crossover crazed market, you would think a vehicle like this would be okay. Not the case. They have the entry level crossover. I already forget what it's called underneath of this. And that is going to represent the crossover sales for Maserati. This one's a little bit sad. The minis, the old minis that we knew and loved, they're disappearing. We still don't have the new, well, this is a Clubman, by the way, so it's not like the Mini Cooper. It's a stretched version of the Cooper, I guess you could say. You could get them in 6-speed manuals in the first generation. I think you could get a 6-speed manual in the second generation as well. I like the design of the Clubman with the kind of the, I don't know, what do you call this, the refrigerator door? I don't know why this image is not loading, but yeah, the refrigerator door, very unique. Lots of flair, lots of style. It's going away. Now, I'm excited to drive the new Minis with the new software because old software was terrible on them. But there's no manual transmission anymore on the Mini, which makes it pretty sad. Mitsubishi Mirage. These things are they're kind of like death traps. They're not safe. They're really slow for our market, but they're insanely affordable. And they're insanely reliable as well. All right. So great city car, but I would not want to take this thing on the highway ever. It only has around 70 horsepower. So affordable cars are getting killed off in America because the used car market, you can just get so much more power in a used car that costs the same or less as a Mirage. Mirage, I think it might live on for certain markets. Hopefully it gets replaced here by something else. But yeah, the talks of them bringing back the Colt is a possibility. But rest in peace, Mirage, hatchback, and sedan, which is called the G4. And let's keep moving. Now on to some pickup trucks that got canceled. The Ram Classic. Shut down the Ram Classic plant, maybe for EV production. I don't know. Like the Ram Classic, it's good to have an old school pickup truck in a lineup, but apparently wasn't making enough money for them. And yeah, it's kind of based off the last generation Ram from my understanding. But you can get it with the cool Warlock, you know, more aggressive front bumper here. This looks like a 20-year-old pickup truck, but you could get it with the more updated styling. Sure. Rest in peace, Ram pickup truck. And rest in peace, Nissan Titan. Nissan followed Toyota into the large pickup game. Honda never did. No one else from the Japanese automakers ever did. So there's very few entrants that tried the large pickup segment to fight the F-150s, to fight the Rams. And the Nissan Titan fought a brave and valiant battle. I see a ton of them on the road, especially the first generation. This was also built in Canton, Mississippi, where it's just going to be, that plant is up in like question because they wanted to kill the Altima there where they make it, but they make the Frontier down there, which is my favorite midsize pickup truck over something like the Tacoma and the Colorado, for example. But yeah, rest in peace, Nissan Titan. Pretty sure Nissan lost money on this truck, and you can just see the sales. 2005. Look at this. 2005 was their best year by far. If your first year is your best year, yeah, it's peaking too early, right? That's like saying, oh, yep, I peaked as a freshman, and then I just got worse. I knew some kids like that who were really good athletes in middle school, maybe as a freshman, and then they just completely fell off the map. I don't know why, but Nissan Titan kind of reminds me of that. We need to move on. The F-Type, the best Jaguar, arguably. I think most of you would agree. The F-Type, super beautiful car. Get a big V8 in it. A coupe Jaguar is a thing of beauty, and this thing was no exception. So this one is sad for me. I unfortunately never got a chance to drive one. Yeah, the supercharged 5-liter. I've driven that in the new Defender. This 5-liter V8. It's a really good engine. Yeah, it's fantastic. So going to miss the F-Type, and listening to them. I see them all the time. The F-Type's down here. I hear them quite often. Fantastic sounding V8 coupe from Jaguar, now gone. Lamborghini Huracan, this one doesn't hurt too much. Fantastic performance, obviously. I don't really review exotics here on the channel. Most of you guys know that. The Huracan is being replaced by the Temerario. But the Gallardo, for me, just had more impact, probably because I was a teenager when that vehicle was in its prime. And now that I'm a grown man, I don't know. Just me personally, I don't follow Lamborghini, even though I was invited to the Lamborghini launch of their new flagship and their new dealership here in Naples. You can watch that video on the channel. I love all cars, but I just have zero aspirations to ever own a Lamborghini. I'm more of a Ferrari guy. Hopefully you guys, don't roast me. I'm sure many of you understand that it's like Ford or Chevy, right? You got to pick one or the other. Yes, you can like both, but with Ferrari and Lamborghini, Ferrari is my pick of the litter. All right, this is the saddest one for me. Thank God and thank my Nissan rep for hooking me up with the GTR in the press fleet before it was officially canceled. I had it just a few months before the official discontinuation. It's an emotional car. Because of all the generations of the GTR, all the history in that vehicle, but also what this vehicle represented, especially when it came out, the newest R35. This vehicle represented the peak of Japanese engineering, and it destroyed everything on the market when it came out for a few years for way less money. Kind of like how Lexus came into the luxury segment in the late 80s and destroyed the Germans for a while, right? This car destroyed the high-end performance car market. And twin turbo V6, super fast, 6-speed DCT, really, really advanced all-wheel drive for the time. And just watch my driving impressions on it. I miss this vehicle already. It's sad. And I see Ferraris every day. I live right next to a Ferrari dealership, but I see Lamborghinis quite often. I see exotics. I see McLarens all the time. I rarely see GTRs in my area. It's probably because it's less of a old rich person's toy for where I live. It's more of a younger rich person's toy. And so there's just not a lot. I'm sure in Miami you would see more of these, but where I live in Naples, like it's a rare sighting. And I do see some of the rich young kids, some of the teenagers, early 20s who have a lot of family money, or who knows how they got their money. I do see them modded out here in Naples from time to time when you do car shows, when I go to Cars and Coffee every once in a while. But yeah, rest in peace, Nissan GTR, your 3.8 liter twin turbo V6. Rest in peace, the lineage of expertly crafted vehicles from Nissan's Nismo division. Yeah, they want to make the success for a fully battery electric, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not, no one's going to care. So, it's disgusting to see this car go away, but I got to end it somewhere. Without shedding a tear, I made it. The Nissan GTR, obviously, by far for me, is the toughest one to stomach. The rest of them fall way, way, way short of any sort of greatness. Well, the F-Type, I would say, is up there too, but I just don't have as much personal connection to it. So, yeah, see you guys in the comments. See you guys. Yeah, hopefully 2025 we don't see any more catastrophic car discontinuations, but we don't even know if Nissan's going to be around by the end of 2025, right? Honda's got to suck them up. Honda's got to merge with them. So anyways, I gotta cut it off. Have a happy new year. Peace out.